Black Panther trailer looks incredible. Let's get into it. Another week, another list, a comic book that was optioned, but we haven't heard any news in over a year. Hit the like, slap the subscribe button. And Gem from XMen Collectibles, hit him with number 10.
Number 10 on the list is Kabuki, Fear the Reaper, Issue 1.
The first solo-titled Kabuki comic book debuting in 1994. There's not a whole lot of these on the census at all. 28 copies in total. A 9.6, there are 8 copies, and there are 6 9.8s. And we're here to talk about a 9.8 record breaker. This is the first solo-titled Kabuki comic book, which is David Mack's intro to comic books. He wrote and drew it, and it also is what lined him up to get the job at Marvel, where he would take on Daredevil and create Echo.
It also lined him up to get the job for doing the Something is Killing the Children 25 Comic Tom exclusive, which is in this month's Mystery Mail Call, but I digress. The Kabuki comic and a 9.8 broke record. It sold for $203 back in 2011, and it's up now 60%, selling for $325.
David Mack mentioned during the 25th anniversary via tweet in 2019 that it was indeed optioned, but by the 26th anniversary was not talking about it. Sometimes these titles take a long time to see the kind of news that would warrant price hikes in the comic books. But regardless, you know, we're all very big David Mack fans. And you mentioned it, Gem, so I'll do the plug here. ComicTom101.com. Join the community. The October Mystery Mail Call does have a Something is Killing the Children 25 cutter cover done by one of our favorite artists of all time, David Mack. We made 2 different versions, one of which is going in 1 per box at random. Join the community, support the show, and at the list at number 9, Batman 133.
We're talking about Bat-Mite again. We just got done talking about Detective Comics 276 last week, which is the second appearance of Bat-Mite. Now, this is the third appearance, but most importantly, the first appearance of Kite Man, which back in March of this year, we had the news that a Kite Man animated series was in the works for HBO Max.
Nightmite is going to be introduced in the Nightwing narrative, courtesy of Tom Taylor, who's been killing it all year, which is why Bat-Mite has been on spec radar. But I think this is all about Kite Man. We have a 4.0, last selling in 2017 for $125, up 167%, now selling for $334.
The HBO Max animated series is supposed to be called Noonans, and it follows Kite Man with his girlfriend Golden Glider, who try to keep a bar named Noonans safe in Gotham City.
It sounds like Cheers meets Always Sunny. At the list at number 8, we have Green Lantern number 9, debuting in 1961. Now, is this because it's the first cover and second appearance of Sinestro, or is it because of Jim Jordan, the brother of Hal Jordan? Regardless, this book has made the trending 20 so many times in the last few months.
The Green Lantern Corps show is one of the few DC properties that hasn't been canceled under their new regime, so a lot of speculation, and it's wide open on members that can be joining this series. A CGC 5.0 sold for $358 back in April. It's up 68% now, selling for $600.
There are only 15 copies graded at an 8.0 on the census, 10 at 8.5, 6 at 9.0, and 7 at 9.2. There is one lonely 9.4 graded copy last selling in 2010 for $5,081. And I think this is all because of Sinestro. We did have rumors that have not been validated ever since they began to circulate last year that actor Tobias Menzies, who portrayed Brutus in Rome, he was also in Game of Thrones. You know him from The Crown. Fire Guy Ryan approves.
And Fire Guy Ryan knows his Green Lantern. Moving on to number 7, we have X-Men Annual 14, the first cameo appearance of Gambit, even though he's in 15 panels.
We see 10 instances of dialogue at least. He even gets called Gambit by name in the panels of this book that came out prior to X-Men 266. And we have a 9.8 newsstand that sold for $900 during the comic boom of 2021. Now, an increase of 44%. I think mutant interest is growing, now selling for $1,295. Hot damn.
Sound off in the comments below. Should X-Men Annual 14 be considered the one and only first appearance of Gambit?
Should it command the same prices as 266, if not more? Let us know while we chat about one of the coolest variants that were made in 2015. Back to the Future number 1, the Almanac variant. This is a personal anytime movie, and this is the closest thing to a comic-sized edition of the hit movie prop.
So not something that's driven by movie speculation, just one of those books that doesn't come up too often. There are only 8 copies in a 9.6 and 42 in a 9.8. The 9.6 sold for $499 back in July, and it's up 80% with this all-new record-breaking sale of $900.
Moving over to number 5 on the list, Peach Momoko Goodness, Free Comic Book Day 2022, Avengers X-Men Judgment Day #1, the 1 in 1,000 variant.
The first appearance of Bloodline, Blade's daughter, from the current Marvel event Axe, Avengers, X-Men, and Eternals.
Safe to say that there are not a lot of copies of this in existence. 1,000 copies would have needed to be ordered of the Free Comic Book Day edition to qualify a store for one of these. And Free Comic Book Day is a big day, but most stores can't distribute that many of just one comic book.
There has been some drama surrounding the Blade movie as of late. Mahershala Ali expressing frustration with the script, changes in the directors, but we do know that the rumor is that Blade will be passing the torch down to a younger female character, and people are speculating it's his daughter Bloodline.
The last 9.8 sold back in May for $650. It's up now 73%, selling for $1,125. It blew past the $1,000 marker. Hot damn. There are a total of 24 copies graded at 9.8, and with 2/3 of the copies having traded hands in the last 6 months, this book is scorching hot. People are specking hard.
Moving on to number 4 on the list, you know, it's funny, we talk about a lot of Disney-owned properties here. The mouse runs everything except for Looney Tunes, with issue #1 debuting in 1941, the first appearance of the rival, Bugs Bunny, and also the first appearance of Daffy Duck, Elmer Fudd, and Porky Pig.
Now, these characters would be introduced in the 30s, but they were prototype at best. Even by 1941, when this comic would premiere, they don't look exactly like we know them to be, but that's what makes this golden age vintage book so damn cool. And it's hyper scarce. We have a 1.5 selling back in 2004 for $630, up 233% this week, selling for $2,100.
This book doesn't come up for sale often, with the last sale being almost a year ago, November of 2021. It was a 5.5 that sold for $13,200, and there's only 65 total graded copies on the census.
There's one 8.0, 3 8.5s, one 9.0, and one lonely 9.2. Next at the list, at number 3, Tales of Suspense 48, Ditko Goodness, Changing Iron Man Forever.
This would be the debut of the Mark II armor, going from that clunky, cave-built gray armor to the red and gold classic Iron Man armor that he still wears to this day.
Recently announced, Armor Wars is not going to be a show anymore. It's going to be a movie. And I'm assuming that's why we're seeing Tales of Suspense 66 make the runners-up list, the larger list where we source these comics from, over on the best comic app in existence, Key Collector Comics. Utilize code TOM101 to unlock a free 2-week subscription. Support the show and see the other Iron Man keys that are selling. This news is moving them.
Make sure to check out the larger list to see what Tales of Suspense 66 did, but we're talking about Tales of Suspense 48, a CGC 9.2, which sold for $2,271 back in 2018, up now 101%, selling for $4,560.
The last time we saw a higher graded copy sell, it was a 9.4 in 2019, and it sold for $3,200. There's not very many copies graded above a 9.4. There are 4 9.6s and 4 9.8s. It makes sense why we are seeing the 9.2 break records this week. At the list at number 2, Fantastic Four 119, a famous Black Panther key book. Although this is the issue that he changes his name to Black Leopard, it would be the only time he would go by it in comic history.
Marvel Comics feeling some heat from the actual Black Panther party back in 1972, which leads to this key significance. A CGC 9.8 sold for $200 back in 2012. It's up now 1,220%, selling for $2,640.
There are 135 copies graded on the census, and only 6 are a 9.8, which justifies the increase of over $2,000 for this book. And Jem, what did you think of the most recent Black Panther trailer? We are certainly getting another portrayal of the Black Panther, and Namor's got wings on his feet and he's flying around.
And recently, Tenoch Huerta confirmed that Namor is not necessarily a villain, but more of an anti-hero.
We want to know your thoughts in the comment section below, and at the list, hit the like, slap the subscribe button. We have Fantastic 433, the first appearance of Attuma, more Black Panther spec, seemingly paying off. We have a record-breaking 9.4 gem. How do you feel?
I'm feeling good, hoping to see that trickle-down effect sometime soon. Attuma has been confirmed for Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever. He's an Atlantean warrior, and his design looked dope when we saw it when it was first revealed. A CGC 9.4 sold for $1,795 last year. It's up 194%, now selling for $5,280.
There are 44 copies graded at a 9.0, 21 at a 9.2, 28 at a 9.4, 12 at a 9.6, and 6 at a 9.8. Recent sales in nearby grades put it at $3,000 for a 9.2, that happened in July, and $3,600 for a 9.6. Seeing a $5,200 sale for a 9.4 means that this book is being spec'd upon. Hot damn. We appreciate your time today, as always.
Geek responsibly and stay minty fresh.
Enough said. Join myself, Gem Mint, and all my homies in the best new place to buy and sell collectibles. It's called Whatnot. We do dollar start auctions that last as little as 15 seconds long. Link in the description. Take a look at these other 2 videos. We made them for you. Have a great week.